Discipline is freedom. Welcome back to Strong Male Figure. The difference between who you are and who you want to be is what you do daily, not what you do occasionally, not what you do when motivated, what you do daily. Today, we're discussing the foundation of all achievement, self-discipline, the ability to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel in the moment. The ancient Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, 'I have to go to work as a human being.'" By the end of this video, you'll understand the mechanics of building unshakable self-discipline and have actionable strategies to implement immediately. This isn't about motivation. Motivation is temporary. This is about building systems that make success inevitable. Let's begin. 1. Understanding true discipline. Self-discipline is widely misunderstood. It's not about punishment or restriction. It's about freedom through structure. Most men approach a discipline backwards. They believe they need motivation to take action. This is fundamentally flawed thinking. Discipline is taking action regardless of motivation. The undisciplined man is actually the least free. He's enslaved to his impulses, to distraction, to immediate gratification. He's reactive rather than proactive. True discipline isn't about white-knuckling through tasks you hate. It's about understanding two fundamental truths. First, your daily actions compound over time to create your life. Second, your feelings and desires are temporary, while principles are permanent. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." This is the essence of Stoic discipline. When you build self-discipline, you're not restricting yourself. You're freeing yourself from the tyranny of momentary whims. You're building the capacity to direct your life rather than being directed by external forces. Before we proceed with practical methods, you must internalize this. Discipline isn't something you do, it's something you become. 2. The 4 pillars of self-discipline. Self-discipline rests on 4 pillars. 1. Clarity of purpose. 2. Delayed gratification. 3. Environmental design. 4. Identity-based habits. Let's break these down. First, clarity of purpose. Discipline without direction is meaningless. The disciplined man knows exactly what he's working toward and why. This isn't about vague notions of improvement. It's about specific outcomes aligned with your deepest values. Ask yourself, what specific outcome would make the discomfort of discipline worthwhile? Write this down. Be precise. Review it daily. For example, I want to be healthier is weak. I will achieve 15% body fat within 6 months because physical strength is a core value and enables me to be more effective in all areas of life, is strong. Your clarity of purpose must be stronger than momentary discomfort. Second, delayed gratification. This is the cornerstone of mature masculinity. The capacity to forego immediate pleasure for future gain distinguishes achievers from dreamers. A famous study called the marshmallow test showed that children who could delay gratification went on to have better life outcomes across nearly every measure. This capacity predicts success better than IQ. Delayed gratification is a muscle. You strengthen it through deliberate practice. Start small. Choose one daily indulgence and postpone it by just 30 minutes. Gradually increase this time. Notice the urge to indulge. Acknowledge it, but don't act on it. This space between stimulus and response is where your power lies. Third, environmental design. Willpower is overrated. Environment is underrated. The disciplined man doesn't rely solely on mental strength. He engineers his environment to make discipline the path of least resistance. If you want to read more, place books in every room and remove TV remotes. If you want to eat healthier, remove junk food from your home entirely. If you want to reduce social media, delete apps, and use website blockers, your environment will either facilitate or sabotage your intentions. Design it accordingly. Seneca wrote, "Associate with people who make you better." This applies to your physical environment as well. Surround yourself with tools of discipline, not temptation. Fourth, identity-based habits. Most habit formation fails because it focuses on outcomes rather than identity. Don't say, "I want to exercise more." Say, "I am a disciplined man who trains daily." When you anchor habits to identity, consistency follows naturally. It's no longer about what you do, it's about who you are. This shift is profound. You're not depriving yourself of comfort, you're simply acting in accordance with your identity as a disciplined man. 3. The science of habit formation. Building discipline requires understanding how habits form at the neurological level. Every habit follows the same four-stage pattern. 1. Cue. 2. Craving. 3. Response. 4. Reward. Let's examine how this applies to building discipline. For a morning workout habit, the cue might be your alarm or seeing your workout clothes laid out. The craving is the anticipated feeling of accomplishment. The response is the actual workout. The reward is the post-workout endorphin rush and satisfaction. Understanding this loop allows you to engineer habits strategically. To build any disciplined habit, 1. Make the cue obvious. Place your running shoes by your bed. 2. Make the craving attractive. Pair the habit with something you enjoy, like listening to a podcast while running. 3. Make the response easy. Start with just 10 minutes. 4. Make the reward satisfying. Track your progress visually. Conversely, to break undisciplined habits, 1. Make the cue invisible. Remove junk food from your home. 2. Make the craving unattractive. Visualize negative consequences. 3. Make the response difficult. Add friction to the behavior. 4. Make the reward unsatisfying. Create immediate negative consequences. This isn't theory. This is applied neuroscience. Remember, habit formation requires approximately 66 days of consistent practice, not the 21 days often cited in pop psychology. Expect resistance, expect discomfort. These are not signs of failure, they're signs of neurological rewiring. The Morning Discipline Protocol. The foundation of daily discipline begins in the first hour after walkie. How you start your day determines how you live your life. The disciplined morning protocol consists of 1. Consistent wake time, including weekends. 2. Immediate physical activity. 3. Cold exposure. 4. Strategic nutrition. 5. Intentional planning. First, establish a non-negotiable wake time. When your alarm sounds, rise immediately. No exceptions, no snooze button. Place your alarm across the room if necessary. This first act of discipline sets the tone for all subsequent decisions. Within 5 minutes of waking, engage in physical activity. This doesn't require elaborate equipment. Perform 20 push-ups, 20 squats, 30-second plank. This isn't about fitness, it's about introducing immediate physical resistance to overcome. You're training your mind to push through discomfort first thing. Next, cold exposure. End your shower with at least 30 seconds of cold water. Again, this builds your capacity to voluntarily embrace discomfort. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort regularly. Seneca would regularly practice poverty, sleeping on the hard ground and eating plain food, not because he had to, but to remind himself he could endure it if necessary. Your morning nutrition should be predetermined and consistent. Eliminate decision fatigue. A protein-rich breakfast with minimal processing is ideal. Finally, intentional planning. Identify your 3 most important tasks for the day. These aren't just any tasks, they're the ones that move you toward your long-term vision. Complete at least one of these before opening email, social media, or responding to others' demands. This entire protocol should take no more than 60 minutes, 1 hour that determines the remaining 23.5. Advanced discipline training for those ready to forge elite discipline. Implement these advanced practice 1. Intermittent fasting. Start with 16-8 protocol 2. Digital minimalism. Schedule specific times for technology use. 3. Discomfort challenges. Weekly practices like cold exposure, heat exposure, or fasted training. Deep work blocks, 90-minute periods of undistracted focus. 5. Evening review. Daily reflection on discipline successes and failures. These practices compound over time. They don't merely build discipline in isolation. They transform your entire relationship with discomfort. Intermittent fasting trains your ability to ignore hunger signals. Start with a 16-hour fast, eating only during an 8-hour window. Digital minimalism means treating technology as a tool, not a default state. Set specific times to check email and social media. Use app blockers during deep work periods. Weekly discomfort challenges might include cold immersion, sauna sessions, fasted training, or difficult conversations. Schedule these deliberately. Deep work blocks are 90-minute periods of undistracted focus. No phone, no email, no interruptions. This is where meaningful progress occurs. The evening review is critical. Document your disciplined actions daily. What worked? What didn't? Where did you succumb to impulse? This isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. Remember the words of Epictetus. Progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily. 6. Overcoming resistance. Now let's address the inevitable. Resistance. You will face resistance. Your mind will generate excuses. Your body will crave comfort. This isn't weakness, it's biology. The undisciplined man lets resistance dictate his actions. The disciplined man acknowledges resistance but acts anyway. When resistance arises, implement these strategies. 1. The 5-second rule. Count backward from 5, then move immediately. 2. Minimum viable effort. Commit to just 5 minutes of the task. 3. Visualize the obstacle in detail, then visualize overcoming it. 4. Recall your mortality. Ask, would my final self be proud of this choice? 5. Invoke the third-person perspective. What would you advise someone else to do? The 5-second rule prevents rationalization. Count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then act physically. This bypasses the prefrontal cortex where excuses form. Minimum viable effort overcomes inertia. Don't commit to the entire workout. Commit to putting on your shoes and stepping outside. Momentum will often carry you further. Detailed visualization prepares you for obstacles. Don't just imagine success. Imagine specific challenges and your response to them. Mortality awareness creates urgency. Marcus Aurelius kept memento mori, reminders of death, to maintain perspective on trivial discomforts. The third-person perspective creates emotional distance. What would you tell your brother or son to do in your situation? Now follow that advice yourself. Remember, resistance never disappears. Even the most disciplined men feel it. The difference is in the response. You don't have to feel motivated. You don't have to feel ready. You simply have to act. 7. The discipline hierarchy. Not all discipline is equal. There exists a hierarchy. 1. Physical discipline, base of pyramid. 2. Environmental discipline. 3. Emotional discipline. 4. Mental discipline. 5. Purpose discipline, apex of pyramid. Physical discipline is foundational. It includes sleep, nutrition, training, and abstention from destructive substances. Without physical discipline, higher forms become exponentially more difficult. Environmental discipline means creating order in your physical space. A cluttered environment creates a cluttered mind. Emotional discipline involves regulating responses rather than being controlled by them. This doesn't mean suppression, it means appropriate expression. Mental discipline includes thought control, focus, and strategic thinking. Meditation is the cornerstone practice here. Purpose discipline is the highest form, aligning daily actions with your deepest values and longest-term vision. Begin at the foundation. Master physical discipline before attempting to maintain perfect mental discipline. This is the natural progression. Many men fail because they attempt higher disciplines while neglecting the foundation. You cannot think clearly on insufficient sleep. You cannot regulate emotions effectively with blood sugar crashes. Build from the bottom up. Be strategic in your approach. 8. Tracking and accountability. What gets measured gets managed. The disciplined man tracks his adherence objectively. I recommend 3 tracking methods. 1. Daily discipline scorecard. 2. Weekly review. 3. Monthly recalibration. The daily scorecard should include your non-negotiable disciplines with simple yes/no completion. Did you wake at your target time? Did you complete your morning protocol? Did you meet your deep work goal? Score yourself objectively at day's end. No rationalization permitted. The weekly review examines patterns. Which disciplines were consistently maintained? Which faltered? What environmental factors contributed to success or failure? The monthly recalibration adjusts your disciplines based on progress toward your larger goals. Some disciplines may need to be intensified, others relaxed, based on their effectiveness. External accountability accelerates discipline. Choose one person, not for motivation or encouragement, but for brutal honesty. Report your scorecard to them weekly. Conclusion: we've covered a comprehensive system for building unshakable self-discipline. 1. Understanding true discipline as freedom, not restriction. 2. The 4 pillars: clarity, delayed gratification, environment, and identity. 3. The science of habit formation. 4. The morning discipline protocol. 5. Advanced discipline practices. 6. Strategies for overcoming resistance. 7. The discipline hierarchy. 8. Tracking and accountability systems. But knowledge without action is worthless. Begin today, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Today. In the words of Epictetus, first say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do. Discipline is not a destination. It's a daily practice. It's a way of being. The path is clear. The choice is yours. If you found value in this video, subscribe to Strong Male Figure for weekly content on developing strength in all domains of life. Leave a comment sharing which discipline you're implementing first. Remember, a disciplined life is a meaningful life. Until next time.